Hi, my name is Heledd Gwynant and I'm a percussionist currently studying at the Royal College of Music in London. I started playing percussion through brass bands at the age of 8 and I've been playing in brass bands ever since. I thought I'd make this short video just to give you 10 top tips, 10 general tips about things I've learned from playing in brass bands as a percussionist over the years. So tip number 1, take a duster with you everywhere. This comes in handy whether you need to dampen instruments like tims or toms, or literally just to put in the trap tray when you put stick stands in, avoids unnecessary sounds. So take it everywhere, put it in your stick bag right now. Tip number 2, get into the habit of turning the snare drum off. Sounds really silly, but no one wants to be that person who has to run across the stage in a really quiet passage because they've left the snare drum off. So just whack it off. Tip number 3, take a pencil and rubber everywhere and just write everything down, whether it's sticking, conductor's comments, your own thoughts, just write it all down. It'll come in handy in the heat of the moment, maybe in a competition or contest. Tip number 4, plan your setup really carefully. As percussionists, we have to play a lot of instruments and to avoid running around on stage, just plan it beforehand, have a good setup and experiment with that setup so you get the easiest and best setup for yourself. Tip number 5, conductor's eyes. Just always lock in with the conductor, always make sure you've got that eye contact that makes you and the conductor feel like you just know what you're doing, and it gives you confidence as well as the conductor. Tip number 6, experiment with different sounds. We've got so many instruments as percussionists. Just try different sounds for all instruments when you play it. For example, with a tambourine, just angle your tambourine differently and you'll get a different articulation. Like if you angle it like this, straight up, and then turning it a lot crisper and a lot shorter. So just experiment with all instruments to get the best possible sounds. Tip number 7, try and incorporate some sort of practice into your daily routine. This could literally be just tapping along on your lap whilst watching the TV, or just listen to a different type of music, different style every day, because a little bit every day will mount up and it'll just expand your musical knowledge massively. Tip number 8, tape your parts together and make as many photocopies as you want. We often have to move from one instrument to the other, from one stand to another. We don't want to be dropping pages on the floor when you're a bit nervous, a bit shaky, and just make sure that you do make enough photocopies and plan it logistically so you know exactly where you're going to the next stand and what you're going to be playing from that music. Tip number 9, probably the biggest one, teamwork. As percussionists, teamwork is key, and you just need to get to know your section, become friends with your section, because when you all get along, you all just have so much fun and you all play much better. Make sure you help with the gear always, no matter if it's not your setup. Just make sure everyone else is happy, make sure everyone's happy with their sticks, got the gear, everything, and you'll just have a wonderful experience. And tip number 10, just have fun. I think as percussionists we get to play the most bizarre instruments, we get to play so many different instruments, and we just need to make the most of that and just enjoy it. So these are my 10 quick top general tips. Hopefully they'll come in handy for some of you at some point as percussionists in a brass band. Thank you.